Welcome to the Her Voice Shines podcast, where we celebrate the power, brilliance, and resilience of women everywhere. I'm your host, Shashana Washington. Join us as we share inspiring stories and insights from extraordinary women who have found their voice and are making a difference. Together, we'll create a ripple effect, illuminating the path to visibility and empowerment. Let's break barriers, shatter ceilings, and lift each other up. In each episode, we dive deep into the journeys of women who have turned their challenges into triumphs and their dreams into reality. Whether you're looking for motivation, guidance, or a community that understands your journey, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and remember, let your voice shine. And just like that, we're back with another amazing episode of the Her Voice Shines podcast. I'm your fabulous host, Shashana Washington, streaming from the beautiful city of Houston, Texas. No secret, one of my favorite places to be because we bring the most amazing guests. I'm so excited about our guest today, and she does the drill. She comes to the stage, tells us her name, where she's streaming from, and guess what? She jumps right into that story. Without any further waiting time, here's my very fabulous guest for today.
Thank you, Shashana. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Shashana Kaplan. I am from Los Angeles, and I run Pifster, the Pay It Forward app. And I live in a neighborhood where COVID hit really hard, and we had a lot of single mothers that were struggling, a lot of elderly that were struggling, and the bigger nonprofits were nowhere to be found to help anybody. And about a few months into COVID, when people were really in dire need, the smaller nonprofits, and I mean really small nonprofits, came through and spent time with our elderly and took care of our single mothers. And my husband and I realized that these smaller nonprofits are run by people who have suffered a trauma of their own and swore that no one else would go through what they went through. They are tireless warriors. And my husband and I, right then and there, decided to commit ourselves to supporting them. So we developed this app. It's called Pifster. If you're a Pifster, you're someone who pays it forward. And what we do is we crowdsource $1 a month donations. Users suggest where to pay it forward. Then they go through vetting, and every month we have 4 different causes to vote on. At the end of the month, whoever has the most votes gets the monthly dollar donations. And the best part is that we make a video showing your money doing what you voted it to do, because transparency is so important. We are a 501c3 and we're 509A2, which means that we are 100% publicly funded. This is for people in the community because you see what your community needs are, and we need to support our community caregivers. So I'm super excited to present Pifster to you today, and we can talk about it. Great. Thank you so much.
First off, I already love it because I have a soft spot in my home. My grandparents, my paternal grandparents are still alive. They're 77 and 80 respectively. I've met great grandparents, and I'm very blessed to say that. But there's always been this sweet spot for elderly. So whenever I can hear something that leans into them, it kind of does this right, because it's such a forgotten community. So
it is.
My antennas just drew. Let me just say this, guys. I mean, if you are in a position, and I know there are lots of communities to help, and we'll get into it, but if you are in a community to where you can lend and help to our elderly, I ask that you do. I just know it from a walk of perspective in my own personal life. Sometimes when I'm caring for my grandparents and taking them places, sometimes I'm literally stopping to help other elderly people and help them along. So thank you so much already in the fight for this, because I'm already energized. I told you, so I'm a little bit tired, but I've already got back energized because this particular cause has really, really piqued my interest. Let me just ask you this before we kind of get into the specifics. Where did this, I know that you kind of talked about like during COVID where you're seeing some differences, but where did this focus of nonprofit kind of start? Did you always as a kid just kind of want to lean in to help? But where did you just get that buzz like, this is for Shashana, I am committed to nonprofit and this is what I want to do? Can you talk about that walk?
Absolutely. So, well, even before Pifster, I was a makeup artist in the film industry for 36 years. So I've always been a person who invested in making other people feel beautiful and get stronger through just empowering them. So that was always innate in who I was. But COVID was pretty devastating, and there were a lot of people that needed help. And I was pretty stunned that that these bigger nonprofits weren't supporting the people that really needed help, and especially single mothers with their children. I mean, it was a mess. As you know, I think we all had some sort of awakening during COVID. So, I mean, it was then, I said to my husband, if I had $1 for everybody that cared, we wouldn't have these problems. We'd be able to support each other. We'd be able, as a community, to take care of each other. And that's when my husband said, I think you have something there. And that's when we started developing the app. If everybody could donate $1, it's 25 cents a week, we could do amazing things. And we have paid senior citizens utility bills off, because it's a shame to say that there are senior citizens who are choosing between food and paying their utility bill, which could mean mobility, because they have electric wheelchairs. So if they can't pay their utility bill, they don't have mobility. And it's a shame that is what senior citizens are struggling with. We have done amazing things. I'll tell you more about it as we go on, but those are just a couple of the things that we've done.
What's very impactful for me right now is because we're in a time now where there's just so many like scams and stuff like that. Like, people don't know where to give their money to. There's this trusting thing. But the fact that we can put a face, to this, and we can put a real life conversation to this, that means so much to me in this space. And I know you've had your struggle with people with trusting the nonprofit space, because there's always these things. Everyone's asking for help. We don't know who's who. Are these people really going to give the money to the people? Can you talk a little bit around that? Like I said, I'm just honored that we're able to share this space together, so that we put faces to the people behind this, and you can understand in our passion, and even in her passion, that we are committed to giving voice to the underserved.
Well, the honor is all mine, let me tell you. So yes, we don't know where our money is going. And there are ways that people can vet these charities, but they don't. And that has been my job all day now. We vet these charities that we support on our app. We make sure that they give at least 85% of the cause. We make sure that their big government grants don't go to big salaries. We want to make sure that the people who run the charities are really focused on the cause. My husband is a veteran too, so we spend a lot of time supporting our veterans as well. But, there's 1.8 million nonprofits across America, 1.8 million. And I would say that a lot of them just don't focus on the cause anymore. Nonprofit is kind of a weird thing to say, because they make profit off of their donations, unfortunately. Like when you go to the big box stores and they say, would you like to round up your cost to donate to a mission? Well, you're just paying those corporations back. They've already made their donations. So don't give back to the corporations. They've already made that donation, and you are literally paying them back for the donation they have already made. On Pifster is the only app that I'm aware of, or the only nonprofit that I'm aware of, where you can follow your dollar all the way through. You give $1, you see it, it's on the app. It will say right there that you've given $1. It goes into the community fund. And then again, the most important thing is making the video showing your money doing what you voted it to do.
Wow, I already just had an aha moment, because I have definitely been like in the store at the drive-through, and it's $13.68, and they're saying, do you want to round up to $14? And Shanae has said yes on numerous occasions. I just want to be quite clear. But to know that that's how that process works also kind of wakes me up, because like, okay, well, I could probably now give this 68 cents, $1, $2 to something like Pifster, where I know, these funds are being funneled, because then I can watch where the money is going, if that makes sense. Like,
absolutely. Not only can you
go ahead.
Yeah, not only can you watch, but you can suggest where it goes. And if it passes through vetting, it goes on the app. We have 4 amazing causes every single month on the app. We always have a veterans, we always have senior citizens, we always have an animal organization, because people care about different things. And it's so easy. It's just $1. It's so easy to help our communities. And by the way, this works all across America. We have helped people in Hawaii. We've helped people in Kansas. We've helped people in Oregon. I mean, it's a true blessing.
Okay, so let me go back and make sure I understand. So for a nonprofit that wants to be on Pifster's platform, what is their process like? Are they kind of reaching out to say, hey, we need the help? Or you guys kind of using a system that where you're kind of miming some that how does the connection happen between Pifster and then the nonprofit that needs the support?
Okay, so there's 2 different ways. What we've done is we've made an app online, so you can use the app online, or you can download the app. So if you download the app, you can suggest a charity that you want to pay it forward to, a charity or a cause, because we've helped individuals as well. Like I said, we help senior citizens pay their utility bills. We've helped a little boy named Max Dollarhide receive heart medication who was in Oregon. So you can suggest right on the app, or you can go to our website at pifster.org and you can suggest a cause or a charity there that you want to pay it forward to.
Okay, I love it. And I think I've seen something similar. I think sometimes, I believe it's like Target or somebody. I mean, they're a big name, but sometimes they'll have these little points and stuff you can get to give the charity. So I've kind of seen a little bit of how the methodology works. And I do love that. But what stood out there is that personalized approach. Like, you've given money to someone to get heart meds or to pay a utility bill. That's where it differs for me. And that's what made me kind of peek up when I was reading the information that you sent in. I said, that's something that I'll be more in tune to do, because sometimes you see things like GoFundMe and different things like that. That vetting process gets a little fuzzy. I don't know if I want to give money to that, but because I know that behind the scenes that somebody has already vetted, and I can also too watch the dollar, that makes me more intentional about my giving, if that makes sense. And that's what matters to me. That's what really, really matters to me. So in terms of Pifster, describe to me where it is in the market and maybe some of those challenges. And I know that this particular broadcast is really to get more eyes on it. I know that it's a lot in the social media marketing world, but I want you to kind of talk about that, where you are and kind of where the next pivot is really. It doesn't necessarily have to be a pivot, but really that next step that Pifster is taking really to make this a bit bigger.
Well, like I said, we now have the app online, and we also have the downloadable app. But right now, our goal is to become self-sufficient. This has been our labor of love, and we have poured money into it to create both of these formats. And we just want the word to get out there, and we need more dollar donors. I mean, my dream is a fund that goes out there and takes care of the caregivers of our communities. People that care for senior citizens shouldn't have to worry about where their funds are coming. They should just focus on what they're caring about. That's the ultimate dream for me.
Now, is Pifster solely like a dollars app? Is there any component of it that accepts like other forms of donations, or does it just specifically focus on that dollar transfer?
Well, that's funny that you say that. So my dad is a Pifster, and of course my dad chips in $5 a month. There are people who donate more. You can do that. But for each organization that is up there on the month, you can always make a direct donation, and they will get that direct donation no matter who gets the votes at the end of the month. So say, for instance, the animal rescue wins the most votes, they'll get the monthly pot, but a direct donation can always go to any organization that you care about. Not only that, all the organizations or causes, I will call them, that are on the app or that receive the most votes stay on the app forever, so that you can always go back and give them a donation, a direct donation, because that they've been vetted.
Absolutely. It's that vetting part. Now tell me, Shashana, I know you have probably several now on the app. Just give us an insight. We know you have something that, of course, leans towards elderly. There could be multiple, of course, of that. But just give us one of those nonprofits that really stands out for you right now. Maybe you're really aligned to their mission. And I know that you have love for all of them, because they all are babies. We love them all. But is there one particularly like in this season that really stands out, as really one to shine some light on here today?
Yes. Last November, we found an organization called She Is Hope LA, and it is run by this amazing woman who has 2 children, and she struggled. She got a divorce, and she was a struggling single mother with 2 boys. And again, just like I said, she vowed that nobody else would go through what she went through, and she started She Is Hope LA to help other struggling single mothers. We put her on the app in November. She got the most votes, and we were able to buy 35 turkeys for struggling single mothers. We actually made their Thanksgiving. And it was so touching, because they wouldn't have had Thanksgiving dinner if it wasn't for the dollar donors from Pifster.
That's beautiful. And the holidays, I'm always, I guess when I've gotten older, of course, as a kid, I had my view on them. But holidays now as an adult, it's just so different for me now. Like I mean, of course I enjoy it, but I also to know the extra pressures it puts on people that don't have. And that's what makes me kind of like committed to things like this. I mean, yeah, I had my experience with it, and I wouldn't, deny my family of not celebrating because I don't feel a certain way. But I just feel differently about it because it's already enough pressures in life to do it this kind of way. And then it's the holidays with all of this marketing, and we have to get together, we have to have this. So those extra pressures that come for people who are underserved. So thank you for definitely bringing reference there. So how are you, Shashana? I got to ask you a personal question because I know my empathy is like so high. I just like, oh my gosh, like I really want to help everybody. With the nonprofit space, I know that you get your heartstrings pulled a lot.
Yes.
Why don't you do it? Because this is it's a heavy space. It can be. Yes. How are you decompressing? Like, how are you not kind of bringing it all on and making sure that your mental health and everything is good? Because when you deal with so many people sometimes that have the need, it can really, really weigh you down.
Yes, well, that's a good question. I don't focus on myself. When you're paying it forward, when you're stocking the refrigerator of a homeless shelter, my hurts, my need, my broken heart isn't on my mind. And I am a firm believer in God. So he makes me strong, and he gets me through all of the woes and the heaviness from the nonprofit environment. But I know when I am being of service to somebody else, I'm stronger.
That's good because we are connected so much through service, and that's why it's a big part of me to be of service in multiple ways that I absolutely can. Are there any type of nonprofits that you would like to touch but maybe have not touched? I know that you have a kind of certain subset of what you typically look for, but are there any out there that you like, we haven't had that type come through, but I would, of course, love to see one like that come through?
Well, in all honesty, it's not about the things that I care about because Pifster is for the community. It's for the community in New Hampshire. It's for the community in Texas. It's for what they care about. And that's why we made it $1 to make it easy for everyone to be able to be a part of a giving program. So, I mean, there's many things that I care about. Like I have 5 animals that I've rescued just from my street, and of course I love all of them. So I love animal rescues, but we created Pifster for people to help their own communities.
Okay, I love it. And as a whole, in terms of like Pifster's contributions, do you have that overall overarching number? Because we like to hear the numbers and we like to see the impact. If you don't have that on hand, that's fine. But I really want people to understand the impact, and for people to understand that no matter how small you may start, the impact that you can make can be far bigger than you can ever imagine. So it's very important that we give our guests the opportunity to talk about that impact and even talk about it from a numbers perspective.
Well, amazingly enough, so Pifster's been going for 18 months. And let's see. So the first month we had 30 Pifsters, and a year later we have over, I'd say about 600 Pifsters now. We are raising about an average of $600 to $700 a month. And the impact that it's had, like I said, that little boy, Max Dollarhide, who was in Oregon, who needed heart medication to prepare him for heart surgery, we raised $604 for him that month. And his heart medication was $600. So every dollar counts. And it was quite the gift that we had raised just enough to get his medication.
I mean, 30 to 600 is no small victory. That's huge. In 18 months, that is absolutely huge. And I think because you are making it so easy and that transparency, that's what's going to drive that next level. Because the fact that people can see it go, where the money goes, that's what will continue to make this thing thrive. I feel a Pifster coming on in my spirit. I feel it coming on. I think it's an absolute great cause. So given that we've gone from 30 to 600, what to you is a measure of success? I know that it's not all about the numbers, and it's not all about the targets. I know that you're serving from a pure place, and that's what you want. but when we get to the end of it, we like to see some strides. So talk to me about your measure of success and, how you ensure that you're in stride with that.
Well, I would love the app to be self-sufficient. My husband and I talk about all the time, how much money could we raise? Could we raise? But really, my mark of success would be the Pifster mindset. I want people to know how easy it is to pay it forward and to care for each other. And my measure of success will be when somebody else makes a video of them being proud of themselves for being a Pifster instead of me making the video. That would make me happy. If somebody else would say, I'm a Pifster and I did this today.
Now, that's a call to action now, Shashana. So if there are Pifsters out there, let me make the call for you. If there are Pifsters out there that are watching this episode of Her Voice Shines on today, you got to make a testimonial. You have to share this work that you are touching. It is touching the lives. It is something that you should be proud of yourself, that you are taking the time out to be intentional to help somebody. So it's not even, more so about Pifster. It's also about the transformative work that you're doing by just saying $1, by just saying $5. And then you can hear that someone got their heart medicine. Somebody got a turkey on the table. That's something small, guys, because in the world that we're living in with compassion just seems so few. It's limited, Shashana. It's people are doing all kind of crazy stuff to each other, killing each other for road rage, all kind of craziness. You understand that?
Yes.
So if there is something that you're doing to show compassion, I'm telling you guys, it's bigger than what you think.
Yeah. So it's so easy. It's so easy. It's 25 cents a week. It's the change you get back from the Starbucks at the store, or your coffee. It's so easy. And it does make a difference. For instance, last month, an education center for children with disabilities got the most votes. However, a senior dog rescue was donated $20 directly. So when I called them and said, I wish you would have gotten the most votes, we're going to send you off a $20 check. She said, Shashana, that's a whole bag of food. That will help me a whole month of a bag of food. And she was so grateful. So I think we forget, we all want to make a big impact. We all want to, donate lots of money or just, be the one that could save this cause. But we don't have to. It's just $1. Oh, and the link is at app.pifster.org. So please check it out. You could see all the videos there from all the past charities or causes that we have donated to.
Yes, absolutely. And we were maybe about 30 or 40 seconds off from me making sure you redrop the link. So that was perfect timing. What I got in there too, Shashana, is that, and they say this is it's like a age-old adage that many hands make light work. Many hands make light work. The more hands that are in the pot doing this, the easier the burden becomes. And when it's something easy like this, for me, it's like a no-brainer because sometimes we're so caught up in life and all the different things, and we're wondering, how can we be of service? What can we do? This gives you a small entryway to do that.
Yes, and it's not just these big homeless shelters. There are selfless, tireless people that are out there. It's amazing. Like I said, during COVID, when these small nonprofits came through and they sat with our senior citizens, not only did they take them grocery shopping or to doctor's appointments, but they just sat and kept them company. I mean, that to me, was just, these are people. It just really, it just set me on fire because I knew that these amazing people are out there in our communities.
They are. And like I told you, you can't keep pulling on my heartstrings now, Shashana, because I know, I know that because that loneliness in the elderly is definitely something. Like I said, I see it all the time, like I'm fortunate to be able to, help in the space, with my grandparents, but there's so many people that come there alone, they're lost, they're confused. And just having somebody that can sit there and have a conversation with them and say, hey, I bought you lunch, whatever it is, it makes such a difference. I cannot tell you guys how transformative that is. And it means so much to a population that is so often forgotten. I know I've probably said it before this episode, but it means just that much to me. And, it's a lot of different causes out there, but, some of us align with other causes for whatever reason, whether they're personal or we just have a bunch of information. But for me, that is the type of cause that aligns for me because of my walk in this life. So we have, what I like about Pifster, there's so many. Maybe, it's animals that speak to your heart. Maybe it's homeless. But because they present such a wide array of different types of organizations, you don't have any excuse. They have something for everybody over there, and all of us are called to do different things. And that's the reason why all of this stuff even exists. So make sure you go to app.pifster.org. And let me just make sure so that they are clear, the listeners and viewers. When they go over there, they're signing up for a monthly subscription type thing, or is it like a one-time donation? Or do they have the option to choose? I'm not sure if we covered that piece.
So you can do a monthly subscription of $1 a month. You can also just do $12 for the year, and then the payment system allots $1. And then you can vote every month of where you want your dollar to go, or you could do a one-time donation. Every dollar makes a difference. Every dollar counts, just like the little Max Dollarhide with his medication or the bag of food. Every dollar helps.
And let me just ask this thing as well. So in terms of the organizations that are already like on the app, are they kind of up there like every month? Is it like a rolling schedule? Or all the ones that you're connected with always available at a given time? Kind of talk to us about just how the organizations are housed.
Okay, so that's a good question. So we get a lot of suggestions all month long of where people want to pay it forward to. So I'm vetting organizations, charities, causes, even people. You know, I'm vetting to make sure that they're legit, that the money is going to be used in the right place. And also because we are a small organization, we can hold them accountable to spend the money the way that we designate it to be spent. So that's really important. So I vet these organizations, and every single month, 4 different causes go on a voting page on the app. At the end of the month, whoever has the most votes gets that monthly pot. And then the next month, 4 different organizations will end up there. But the ones that win the monthly pot end up going onto another page on the app where you can always check in on them. You can donate more money to them. You can figure out how you can still be of service to them. So that's the way that works.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that rolling kind of schedule. And yeah, that was a perfect explanation. I do like the fact that you keep them connected too, because some people do want to follow that journey just to kind of see like, oh, what happened. So it's great that you kind of keep those in a repository.
Yes, because little Max Dollarhide, when he first got the medication, he was 6 years old. And Sinead, this little boy was so amazing. He took his allowance and he would go and give out top ramen to the homeless. He would take his IV and walk down the street and pass out top ramen to the homeless. This little boy is amazing. But now he's 7 years old. So it's great to keep up with him. And he was born with bacterial disease. So he has constant problems, but we keep him on the past winners on the app so that people can stay in touch with him and still help him out if they want.
See, yeah, that's what I absolutely love, and that's beautiful to see that journey, and it kind of just builds further on community and connection. You know, when we can see that part of it. So I love it. Now, this is the part, Shashana, where we cue to you for your final words. I mean, that was a fast 30 minutes, wasn't it?
Yes. I don't want to hang up. I like talking to you.
I know, it was so quick. We want to cue to you for your final words. So I tell people, if they catch nothing but this, we want to make sure you give us some good final parting words and something that really captures the essence of Shashana as well as Pifster. It's your turn.
Oh, wow. Well, Pifster is the organization to pay it forward. It is 100% completely transparent. We do not sell your information. We won't give it away, but $1 can make a difference in somebody's life. $1, 25 cents a week. Please go to app.pifster.org. Please subscribe and become a Pifster. Pay it forward. And if you don't do our app, then smile at somebody. Open the door for somebody. Ask them how they're doing in your community. Spend the time and take care of the caregivers in our community.
Do the thing. Just put a little bit more love in this earth because it's been robbed of so much. I can just say that.
And also suggest the things that you care about, the things that are important to you on pifster.org. You can go there. You can suggest, a family that that needs help, or a caregiver. There might be an amazing person in your community that does a lot for other people that you want to pay it forward to. Suggest them on the app.
I absolutely love it. And let me just tell you, a time well spent. I'm always very just enamored, really, when I see a cause that I really think is great and I really truly believe in, especially when it comes to nonprofits. And I had to make sure when I went out and looked at it and I read everything about it, I was so super excited because I think that level of transparency, which I've mentioned several times, is really what raised my antenna. So I want to thank you in your fight in this, you and your husband both. What a beautiful place of work to be in. It really is heart and soul saving work. And I want to thank you for that. So all of our amazing listeners and viewers here, app.pifster.org. It only takes $1. You can even just do $12. You can't even get lunch for $12 these days. $12, $12 for the entire year. And you can feel good really about something that you do. I tell you all the time, but I will never leave this place without saying that I love you and to remember to let your voice shine because transformative things can happen when you do. Until next time, we'll be back with another amazing woman on the Her Voice Shines podcast. And we're out.